Oh, what's up? Oh, nothing. Shit. Shit. Yeah. Oh,
Ooh, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Vino Entertainment TV, where we talk about firearm violence, domestic violence. We feed the unfortunate. We also do donations for the unfortunate. We also talk about being molested. And we also talk about trending topics here and there time to time. Hey, what's really going on? Hey, everybody. Glad to see you. Good that it's a good day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get started. So, I be a little bit everywhere, and the Bible tell us a lot, you know what I'm saying, as far as being greedy and as far as food and toward food and doing things to people as far as toward food and things like that. And the Bible do tell us about being greedy, overeating, and things of that sort. So I want to start the show off with how this young man's life was taken behind some French fries. Do you hear me? French fries. Stop wing French fries. Okay, we all must admit that stop wing French fries, they do be good. Oh, they be good. Good in season, They be good. Especially when you're getting eating the wings with it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was an incident. So let's check it out.
A friend after a disagreement over food is now in custody 2 weeks after the shooting.
Marcus Darden Jr. is accused of shooting Jarvis Davis at a Fort Worth apartment after Davis would not share his French fries. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's mom today. Peyton.
Steve, and multiple people witnessed this shooting inside of an apartment, including children. So Fort Worth police tell me they were confident in who they were looking for. We now know this 18-year-old suspect was tracked down all the way to Tyler, Texas. That's about 140 miles away from Fort Worth. He was tracked down to a hotel. Fort Worth police tell me it's possible his family in that area, but he's now back in North Texas. That suspect is at the Tarrant County Jail tonight.
It's so senseless.
Senseless. That's how Sharika Kennedy describes the murder of her son.
Why? Now, that's the question. Why? No, my baby was probably genuinely his friend. My baby wasn't expecting him to shoot him. Everybody in the house was like, they thought he was joking about the fries.
19-year-old Jarvis Davis shot and killed inside this West Fort Worth apartment near Camp Bowie in 820 back on January 28th. Witnesses told police a group just got back from grabbing food at Wingstop when there was an argument. Investigators say Davis didn't share his fries with the suspect, later identified as 18-year-old LaMarcus Darden.
My son's girlfriend was laying on his lap at the time of it, and she said she just heard a glass break, a gunshot and a glass break.
Fort Worth police say Darden pulled out a handgun, shot Davis in the head, and took off from the complex. He was tracked down nearly 2 weeks later. Kennedy, a mother of 8, now with a missing piece in her family and frustrated, considering she says her son and Darden were friends.
How it happens, just, I'm never going to be okay with it. I'm never going to be okay with it.
And Darden transferred to the Tarrant County Jail yesterday. He is charged with murder. This evening, we reached out to his attorney. They got back to us. The attorney tells us he's not ready.
Man, oh man, y'all. Can you just believe that your life is taken behind some French fries, some stop wing French fries? Some wing stop French fries. I mean, what do the Bible tell us about things like this? We must go over what do the Bible say about food. Now, we have to think, was it that serious about some French fries? How many French fries can one person eat when they know they are not their French fries, when they're just eating a couple of French fries? Not only that, when he popped off that pew pew, the girl was laying in his lap. His girlfriend was. And then you in a room full of people know who you are. Again, you are in a room full of people who know who you are, know that you did the shooting, and you run all the way to Tyler, Texas. I just have one question. Why do people run to Tyler, Texas? Why do they run down toward that way? Tyler, Atlanta, why do people go down that way? Why? Jefferson, to get away? They say he knew people down there. Okay, that may be, but his people should tell him, you need to go back where you came from and handle what you have done. But you and I both know people not gonna tell nobody what they done did. I'm just down here to hang out for a little while, to give me a little breather from being out of, from Texas up there, get out the city, come down to the country, chill out for a little bit, not knowing that you got a iller in your house. Unless you're watching the news, unless you're connected to somebody real close in the family that stays up in the city where he's from and he's running from. But my question also is, when you so bad and your anger and your frustration is so built up in you and your heart is pumping nothing but blood, and you so bad, Mr. Badass or Miss Badasser, and you hurt somebody, unalive somebody, why is the first thing you do is run off? Why is the first thing you do when you unalive somebody or poo-poo a weapon? Why is it the first thing you do is run the heck off? I'll wait. I'm going to wait just a few more seconds. Okay, now, if you're that bad to pull the trigger, you should be that bad to stay there to get arrested or for them to figure out what happened and who needs to go to jail and what's what. And once you get where you're going, you have to really realize, once you calm down, dang, I messed up. Dang, I messed my life up. I don't unalive my friend. Supposed to be my friend. But like his mom said, that's supposed to be his friend. Why would your friend do that? You know, just say this right here. If my homegirl was over my house and I had some fries and, and little wing stopping, she reach up and get a couple of fries, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to say nothing at all. Especially if she didn't get the same thing that I got. Or especially if she didn't get anything. Only I got something. So what is wrong with her going into my basket, getting a few fries without getting my permission? I don't see anything wrong with that. That's your friend. Remember? They were friends. What is wrong with your friend going into your basket and getting a cup of fries? Especially if his hands are not dirty. And then on top of that, you could have unalived somebody else, which could have been their girlfriend laying in his lap. Boy, you young folks don't think. I wonder sometimes where y'all mind be. I just wonder. Because the generation that y'all are in, y'all just don't care nothing about life. The only thing y'all care about is money and fashion. And X. Money, fashion, and X. That's it. And the money that you get, you young people don't even want to work for it. You understand what I'm saying? It's terrible. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. But let's go into the next topic, y'all. But I want y'all to know, don't y'all be out there getting no high-headed temper because I'm about to reach in there and grab a French fry. I get mad you putting your lips on my soda. Don't put your mouth on my soda. But a couple of fries, yeah. But so don't y'all get out there and get mad at y'all friends because they reach in your bag and got a fry or two. So, when they get a fry two in their bag and you reach over and get a fry two out their bag, should nobody get mad, right? It's even Steven. That's the way I said it. It's even Steven. Yeah, even Steven. Even Steven. Y'all know, Pep always saying that, help your elders out, be there for them, things like that, But sometimes it make you wonder. It make you really, really wonder. Because a Houston man was unalive after saving a elderly, the key word, elderly woman from being strangled by her own son. Did y'all hear about that? Did anybody hear about that? Anybody? So my question is, how far can you go by being nice to people, helping people out without you being getting unalive? Because you stepped in place. And people always say, you always supposed to help somebody when you see them being hurt or being harmed. But then again, you be like, what about my life? Right? What about my life? How my life can be taken, right? This is crazy, y'all. But anyway, a man fatally shot after saving a elderly woman. Suspect granted bond. Wow. Early Thursday morning, January 29th of 2026, Houston police responded to a home on Anita Street in the 3rd Ward, where 45-year-old Spencer Germany was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced unalive at the scene. Investigators say Germany was visiting a friend's mother when he saw Rogers McFarling allegedly strangling his own elderly mother. Germany intervened, pulling McFarland off the woman. McFarland left the home but returned hours later with a pew-pew and allegedly shot Mr. Germany. Mr. McFarland is currently held in Harris County Jail on a bond of $750,000 in connection with the killing of Mr. Germany. Mr. Germany's family also has expressed outrage over the bond being granted. Now, I always say, help your elderlies. But this was her own son, y'all. Her own son was strangling her. Boy, I tell you, the devil is busy. That devil busy, y'all. The devil is busy. What can make you get so frustrated, so heated, with an outrage out of control, where you want to strangle your own mother, a lady, any lady, but your own mother on top of that? Come on, people. My God, what is wrong with people? But then this man, Mr. Germany, try to be a good brother, young man, and try to intervene and pull Mr. McFarland off of his mother. But this joker was so doggone mad, he left there and went home and came back with a pew-pew. So that let me know that Mr. McFarland didn't stay with the mother. He stayed somewhere else. And whatever was down between him and his mom at that house, he didn't like. So I guess he figured that Mr. Germany was trying to jump on him, I guess, which was not true. But Mr. Germany was just trying to pull Mr. McFarland off his mother from strangling her because that was a elderly woman. Let's say it again. Elderly woman. But Mr. McFarland, that joker had enough energy, so much fire up on his foot, so much steam coming out his ear, and he didn't see a devil in his eyes. He went home to get a weapon. Just because somebody tried to stop him from unaliving his own mother, and she was elderly. So this man went home to get a weapon, come back hours later. But my thing is, hours later, why was Mr. Germany gone? Why was he still there? It didn't say. Let me look at this again. It didn't say that Mr. Germany stayed nearby. It said Mr. Germany was visiting a friend. Oh, he was visiting a friend's mother when he saw Mr. McFarland allegedly strangling his own mother. Okay, so why did Mr. Germany, when Mr. McFarland left and came back hours later, why was Mr. Germany still there at his friend's mother's house? Why did he not leave? That man didn't leave. He stayed. I sure hate that. I hate he didn't get up and leave. Maybe, I don't know if they were waiting for the police to get there. It didn't say. It didn't say. But this happened in the 3rd Ward in Houston. I don't know if the 3rd Ward is a bad area of Houston or not. If it is, y'all leave me a message in the comment and let me know. I don't know anything about the 3rd Ward in Houston. I don't know anything about that up there. But Mr. Germany was only 45 years old. It didn't say anything about any kids or anything like that, but he do have a family. He do have family. And they are expressing, they are very mad that Mr. McFarland got a cheap bond of $750,000. You know, let me ask you, how much is your life worth to you? How much is your life worth to you? I'm going to take a quick break and we're going to come back to that. Again, how much is your life worth to you? Take a break. Hey, and we are back. We back at it again. Welcome to Vino Entertainment TV. And we chills over here. We hang out. We don't do no bullying. We don't do no disrespect. Over here, we are kings and we are queens. And don't you forget, hey, it's always smooth up in here. But anyway, my question was before the commercial. How much is your life worth to you? Me, my life is worth everything. My son's life worth everything to me. But when you get deceased, somebody unalives you, and put it like that. When somebody unalive you, if they're not getting a death penalty or a life penalty, it's like that person's life that they unalive didn't mean nothing. Well, Purple, why you say that? They might get 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That's nothing compared to having that person with you there, watching them get old within those years instead of them gone out your life because an ignorant person of all those years. You feel me? So to the system, your life really don't mean too much of nothing if they're not getting life in prison or a death penalty. Right? It don't mean nothing. That's what they're saying. That's how they see it. You know what I mean? Because you get a bond of $750,000. Why would you not make to stay in there? Why could you not give you no bond? Why did you even deserve a bond? Do y'all believe that he deserved the bond? First of all, he left. He left and came back. That means he had time to think about it, right? Now y'all think about this, right? Again, should there have been a bond? And if so, should the bond have been as low as $750? $750,000. I'm sorry. Don't forget, he left the scene of he left. It wasn't a scene of crime. He left. Went home. Got the firearm. He had time to think about it. Because remember now, they say the man returned back hours later. So this man had time to go home and think about it. He had time to cool off, pace the floor, mow the grass, clean the house, drink a beer, say some prayers, read some scriptures, watch a little TV, and came back and unalived this man. This man had time to think about it. He had time to think. So I don't believe he came back hours later, and for Mr. Germany to still be at the friend's mother's house. Because for him to come back hours later, you would think that he would left it alone and just cooled off, right? So if he come back hours later, it made me wonder why was he so doggone mad when he had to realize what had happened was wrong. Hours now, again, hours later, Mr. Germany was still at the friend's mother house. Y'all probably asked the same question. Well, why was Mr. Germany still there hours later? Well, he visited his friend's mother. But still at the same time, why did Mr. Farland go home and wait hours later and come back? I don't see it been hours later, him coming back, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't see that. I just don't. Because hours later, I figured that he'd been cooled off by then. I don't understand after hours later why he would still be mad with the outrage of what Mr. Germany just pulling him off his own mother. You feel me? So again, I don't see how it could have been hours later. But I can see how Mr. Germany was still at his friend's mother's house visiting her. I can see that. But I don't see how he can go home. This man, Mr. McFarland, can go home and come back hours later with the firearm, allegedly. I don't see that. And still be mad. I'm going to keep up with the story, y'all. I really, really am. I'm going to keep up with the story. But anyway, if y'all know anything about the third ward in Houston, Texas, please drop me a comment in the low and let me know something about that. And if you know anything about Mr. Germany getting unalived there in Houston. And again, this happened on January the 29th of this year. Okay. Y'all, and this year, y'all, it's been so much going on. People get unalived for no reason. And, people need to just slow down. And another thing, is it because people are so anxious, people being anxious, people being so frustrated what's going on within the world, the news, and how people are acting, and how the orange man is acting, how things are going on. Do y'all believe it's affecting what's going on in America as far as all the stabbing and all the shooting and and all the missing kids because the parents not paying attention to what's going on with them and all the trafficking? Do y'all think this that has something to do with the people nowadays, with all the unaliving people? Because people are getting unalived behind silly, stupid stuff. People are doing stupid stuff. People are arguing over stupid stuff. People picking fights over dumb stuff. You got the Karens and Karenettes and Karens and Billies and Karens and Susan and Sharons and stuff out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is it because the things that's going on in the world with the W house, and it's making and that's pointing to everybody into everybody from what's going on around the world, and it's getting to people in different ways, and people are acting out on all ends. Do y'all think that? I don't know. I'm just asking. Perp, y'all know Perp don't know. Perp don't know. But y'all know Kimora Lee Simmons used to be Russell Simmons' wife. She to leave home. She had the $25 million mansion. Hey, that was stolen, that was bought by stolen funds. She had a husband named Tim, which Tim was married to other women. Well, Tim done got in trouble with the federal government. And the government told her that she needs to move. The house was not hers. It was bought by her husband with stolen money. They're saying Mr. Tim did trick Kimora into marrying him. But once she married him, she found out a whole lot of things about him, how he been lying and everything like that. Now, Kimora has been living in this house for over at least 5 years or more, allegedly. And she said she's not moving. And they're saying her husband illegally stole money from the MDB, which is a multi-billion-dollar company. Now, don't forget now, don't forget now, she was married to Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons ran off. Okay, remember that? I did a story on that a while back about Russell Simmons. But Russell Simmons also is suing Kimora and Tim, saying that her and her husband stole money from him. And also, they stole some energy stock. I don't know how true it is. That's just what I heard. You know what I'm saying? But a $25 million mansion. Ooh. Just imagine you've been living there for 5 years. 5 years. And come to find out, it's been bought by stolen funds from MDB. And Tim is this crook, and she knew he was a crook because he was married to many of women besides her. And he was a liar. So my thing is, why did she run then? But anyway, she's in this house, $25 million mansion. You know, what can one person do? She don't have the kids are grown. What can you do in a $25 million mansion? You know what I mean? Just by yourself. Just look at it and go what you got. When you put it in the driveway, say, yeah, I did this. Yep. This is all mine. I did this. You know what I mean? That's cool. But why spend that much money on a place? I know you got money to spend, this and that, whatever. But to be living in a house that is that costly. But hey, it's a lot of them do it though. I don't know why I'm complaining. But a lot of them do it. A lot of them got big old houses. Like look at Prince. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at how they had look at her. They had some states. You know what I mean? And they didn't have a house full of people, you know. But I guess, some people do it because they might have lived in a small place and always said they're gonna get something bigger when they make it big, and they're gonna live out the fabulous life of they fabulous time of their life. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But I ain't mad at them. But anyway, y'all. But they said Russell Simmons said they stole some money. They stole money. He is suing them for some energy stock. I wonder how much was the energy stock worth? I want to find out. But it had to have been worth a lot of money for him to be complaining about it. But I wonder how many stocks was it? Was it a few? Was it let me take it back. Let me just say it like this. Was it 5 and more stocks? Because, why go in there and get one stock? You know what I'm talking about? If you're going to take some doggone stock, why get one unless that one worth a whole lot of ching, 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 ching. If you feel me? But there is no way I'm going to steal no one stock. And there's no way I don't see them suing for no one stock that really was not worth no money. So they want this whole. So I wonder how many stocks did they get? Was it one or more? You know what I mean? But I didn't hear them say how many stocks that they did get from him. Energy stocks, and y'all know energy right now. Woo, yeah. That means he probably makes some money. So they probably got 1 stock, 2 stock, 3 stock, 4 stock, 5 stock, 6, 7 stocks. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't know, but I'm just making fun. But yeah. But how y'all feel about, you thinking that your husband done paid for your house, a mansion? It ain't a house, excuse me. It's definitely not a house. Woo. Pay for a mansion that you thought paid for a mansion. And you living your best life. You got the best furniture, eating the best, driving the best, wearing the best weeds or whatever. The best hairdos. And this joker around here ain't paid no, ain't around here stealing money. And done bought my mansion with stolen money. You feel me? From the MDB, a billionaire company. Man, I never heard of that company before. I never have. But hey, it's many companies out there that Perp ain't even heard of. But anyway, the federal government done stepped in. The federal government done stepped in. So y'all know when the federal government step in, it's real. You know what I mean? They didn't do no evictions. You know what I mean? The federal government stepped in. And y'all know when the federal government step in and tell you that you need to move and that this house was bought by your husband with stolen money. So, would you all be arguing with them? Or would you all be packing your stuff up, getting ready to get up out of there? I think I'd do a little bit, but I would do a little bit 3. I would research about what's going on, try to give me some answers, and contact my lawyer. Start packing my stuff and finding me somewhere to go. Find me somewhere to go and start packing my stuff. But with a $25 million mansion, baby, you got a whole lot of stuff in those rooms. You feel me? So you're going to need some time to even move. You got to find somewhere for all your stuff to go. You got to find somewhere where it be equal amount of rooms to the equal amount of stuff that you got, that you accumulated out of 5 years or better that you've been staying there in that mansion. And then to me, that's a slap in the doggone face. That's dirty, y'all. That is really, 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 really dirty. How could you do somebody like that? You say you love them. They mean everything to you. You do anything for them. I'm going to show you just what I can do and how much I love you. You around there giving all the nookie up and kissing and hugging and kissing butt and stuff, and kind of find out it's not even your place of living. This is somebody else's place. And then the government had to come tell you. But she been trying to find all different loopholes where she could stay. But right now, she has not found any loopholes in the system to say that she can still stay there under the conditions that, that pertains to her. You know what I mean? But yeah, right now, she's trying to find plenty of ways to get with loopholes where she can stay in that $25 million home. So I hope that she can find some kind of loophole, or ain't no need to sue her husband because he ain't got no money. He broke, You can't ask Russell for nothing because he's suing you and your husband. He pissed off at you. What you gonna do? So I really hope that Miss Kimora find a loophole somewhere in the system where it pertains to her, where she could stay in that $25 million mansion and don't get booted out. I should have had me a boot downloaded for an image so she won't get booted out her mansion. Because that has to be in a very, very, very bad place, y'all. And man, I know she's very upset. She has to be upset. You know what I mean? She has to be upset. Now, before we get up out of here, let me talk about these noodles, y'all. These noodles. A 19-year-old man identified as Jarvis Davis was fatally shot in the DAEH. Y'all figure out. By a friend. This is another friend thing now. Following a dispute over wings. No, that's the wrong one. No, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Here it is right here. I'm sorry. Here we go. A tragic pew-pew in South Carolina. Here you go, South Carolina. I'm so sick of y'all, South Carolina, but let me go on. A tragic pew-pew in South Carolina ends in 2 illings. Argument over noodles turned deadly. It all started over something as trivial and instant noodles. In the quiet hours of the morning on January 25th, 2026, Marco Frazier Sr., a father of 3, and his friend, 25-year-old Damon Rice, got into a heated argument over a simple pack of ramen noodles. Rice had eaten the last of Frazier's noodles, something that angered Mr. Frazier very deeply. Mr. Frazier said, "Man, those were my last noodles." Mr. Frazier said it again, and he reportedly shouted. He was frustrated by the loss of his last meal. His last meal was some noodles, y'all. Rice dismissed the outburst as allegedly responding, "It's just noodles." What should have been a small argument quickly escalated with both men pulling out firearms. The 2 friends exchanged gunfire in the cramped living room of Frazier's home, where Frazier's infant son, Marco Jr., was also caught in the crossfire. Mr. Frazier shouted, "Man, those were my last noodles." He was so frustrated by the loss of his last meal. Y'all, come on. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is not his last, that was not his last meal. Mr. Rice said, "It's just noodles." Oh, y'all. Mr. Marco Frazier had 3 kids, y'all. 3 kids. And the little baby Marco Jr. was in the living room. They said cramped living room. So that must mean the living room must have been really, really small. It must have been a very, very small living room. But Mr. Frazier and his baby is gone over some doggone ramen noodles. Y'all gotta be kidding me. Y'all please hit the like, share button, please, and subscribe if you have not. I really will appreciate it. Much love to you. And this is in South Carolina. Y'all know what? It be so much stuff go on in South Carolina. So much stuff. So much stuff. Some noodles, y'all. But let me just go here. So do we know what they say about the food in the Bible, y'all? I'm just asking a question. You know, do we know? Do we know what they say about the food? Instead of fighting for resource, Christians are instructed to feed their enemies and share with those who are hungry. Romans 12:20, Proverbs 25:21. Instead of fighting for resources, he wasn't fighting for no resources, but he could have fed Mr. Frazier some of those noodles because he was hungry. Or he wanted something a little snibble on, little something. But the man, Mr. Frazier, could have been hungry. I'm sorry, Mr. Rice could have been hungry. Mr. Rice could have been hungry. Yeah. So, it's wild. Friend, another thing, a friend. This is another thing, friend. Friend. Again, friend. Two friends. Friends were fighting over the French fries. One man got on the live. One friend got on the live over a pack of noodles. And the baby. Friends. So it makes you sometimes wonder a situation with friends. Right? Again. Both of these incidents that carry on some violence. They were friends. They all were friends. Everybody was friends. So if I got a friend, you out there, girl, if you see me stick my hand in your bag, tell me, girl, you better get your hand out of my bag. I don't want you poo-pooing me. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious, people. It's not that serious. I don't put my hand in people's food. I don't touch people's stuff without asking. I don't do none of that. And this is the reason why I don't do stuff like that. But I always was told that. I was taught that. You don't go in nobody's stuff without asking them. You don't mess with nobody's stuff without asking them. You don't drink nobody else's stuff without asking them. I was always told from how I grew up, you always ask before you mess with somebody else's stuff, and that's including food. We never did that in my household. We didn't touch nobody. We didn't touch nobody's stuff. Better not touch nobody's stuff. No. And also, so we didn't have to touch each other's stuff in my household, as far as my siblings and whatever. My mom bought us all each what we wanted. Maybe bought us all the same thing, so we wanted to grab and eat nobody else's stuff or beg for nobody else's stuff. So we wanted what you got and we didn't get what you got. You see what I'm saying? You eat your own stuff. Don't touch nobody else's stuff. And y'all, maybe this is something right here is an eye-opener to everybody. Parents, teach it to your kids. Do not touch nobody else's stuff. Their food, nothing. Their pencil, their paper, no nothing. Their drink, no nothing. We need to teach this at home, because if it's not taught at home, these things will happen when they be out. But then again, who would think that, and you've been my friend all these years, and I'm just getting a fry, or I'm just getting, eating a pack of noodles. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Rice said, it's not that serious. And then, 2 men in the household with a baby. Y'all know that baby is there. Why would you pull out a firearm? Why would you pull out a firearm? I didn't get that's a part I didn't get, y'all. Did y'all get that part? Why they pulled out any firearm? You know what I'm saying? Knowing the baby right there in the cramped living room. So that means that living room had to been really, really small then, right? It had to been a small living room. Had been a very small living room. That's just my outlook on it. Perp don't know. I don't know, but I'm just saying, you got to be.
I'm going to be creating.
You got to be thankful, and thankful when you get somebody
ahead of
house.
time with after.com, so no one in the family has to worry about it later. Getting this.
My bad. And another thing is, why would you pull a weapon out and you got little Junior right there in the living room with you? You see what I'm saying? And you couldn't got that mad over some doggone noodles, and you got a baby right there. You got a little fella right there. And I seen a picture, and I did see a picture of the baby, y'all. The baby he was an infant. He wasn't that big. He may be in maybe some 3 months. I'd say maybe 5 months. Something like that.
They called me the black
sheep. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, it's time for me to get up out of here. I got to get ready to go. But anyway, y'all know, as I say, check on your elders. Love your people. Love yourself. And please check out Hood Talk with that boy DC. You may see him around sometime to be a co-host here and there. Y'all please check out CK, Ladies of Generation. There is 40 subscribers there. I need 10 more so we can go live over there. That's a ladies empowerment channel for all ladies. We do need to be told that we're loved, virtual hugs and things like that, because we be going through depression. We go through a lot. We had a lot on our plate. We carry somebody else's pressure on our plate. We carry our pressure on our plate. Our kids' pressure on our plate. Our plate is really full. And sometimes we have to release a little steam. So that's why I, came up with CK, Ladies of Generations. It's for mothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, daughters, daughter and mother. Y'all come on out and hang out with us and get us up to 50 subscribers so we can go live. Like I said, we need 10 more. Your support is very much appreciated. And I always know here at Being on Entertainment TV, your support is appreciated. I will be going out pretty soon doing the feeding, some of the homeless. I have to make sure where I do go, I don't need any kind of license, because they're asking for license now when you do feed some of the homeless people. So I got to make sure I don't need that in the area that I may be going in. But I do know downtown you do need license to serve the homeless there. So I know for sure I would not be going there. I most likely would be going where I normally go to feed them, unfortunately. But hey, I will be out in the streets, me and my son. We're going to be getting us a team. If you want to be involved, let me know. My email is vinoentertainmenttv@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, X, and I also have a Facebook group as well. gun violence and domestic violence fighting against in the community against men and women. So y'all check that out as well. Yeah, also keep an eye on my community wall. I do post missing kids, elderly, and things of that sort. But anyway, y'all know our motto. I'm up out of here. How the hell you gonna love somebody? You don't love yourself. Y'all be good. Peace. Thank y'all for coming. See y'all soon. Stay blessed.